everyone, and welcome to Janyaa's virtual gala. My name is Anya Sethi, and I'm currently a freshman at Emory University. I've been volunteering for Janyaa for a few months now, and I've really enjoyed my time there. So just really quickly to cover what we do, Janyaa is a nonprofit organization that encourages hands-on learning for underprivileged students. Now, of course, as we all know, COVID-19 hit everyone pretty hard, and we at Janyaa are no different. It was definitely an adjustment, but I believe that we were able to implement both lasting and beneficial change to make the learning process as easy as possible for both our students and our teachers. Our Learn From Home program is what facilitated the transition from in-person to online school. And through this program, we were able to enroll 852 children across 65 schools. And over 1,000 teachers received 53-hour training sessions through our educational videos. In addition to all of this, our relief campaign held 3 donation drives to aid the communities affected, and many grocery kits were handed to struggling healthcare workers. At Janyaa, we focused on our students, of course, so we held an awareness campaign to educate our children on COVID-19 and exactly how to prevent it. We will continue to help our students and their families fight these battles. We help our students not only through COVID-19, but also through more elusive prejudices that affect them every day, like the subtle, sometimes not so subtle, sexism that faces our girls. Girls, especially in rural India, often drop out of high school owing to socioeconomic factors and patriarchal norms. The effects of a lack of education are insurmountable, and the lack of women studying and pursuing a career in STEM especially has a major effect on the girls' economic and financial independence. However, by promoting STEM skills in girls, Janyaa increases their meaningful participation in STEM-related higher studies and careers in the future. Girls' participation in these fields brings economic progress for them, their families, and their community. And at Janyaa, the well-being of our students is the top priority. We're working very hard on our mission to give 1 million children the tools they need to impact their communities through our STEM experiential programs, all by 2025. We seek your help to fulfill and continue this essential work. Your contributions are very much appreciated. Thank you.
Well, way back in 2009, 2008, I heard about this farmer suicides happening in my state of Andhra Pradesh in India. And they were happening in many places in India as well. So I wanted to do something about it. So when I went to India, I did some research and I did some field work. I checked with people. And what I realized was they don't have the fundamental knowledge of science and math to solve the problems that they are facing. Right? And that's when I thought, okay, we need to do something about it. And then I realized that there are other professions facing the same problem. For example, carpenters, they have to understand, physics and math. And if you're a tailor, you need to know measurements, you need to know angles, and also like the fiber that you're using, etc. All of these are which are covered in the curriculum, by the way, right? So then I thought, okay, how do I teach these adults? Do I take evening classes, or how do I cater for that? And I realized, no, they're already working hard, and having evening classes, they can't focus on it. So I wanted to work with their children so that the children can actually, help their parents and their families. So that's how this Janyaa program was born. Now, when I actually talk to these kids and when I talk to the parents and all, we realized that, there are the concepts that they have in the textbooks cover almost everything I wanted to teach them. So why reinvent the curriculum? We don't have to, right? And do I have to start a new school? No, I didn't want to limit myself to just one single school over there and just few students. I want to impact so many children all over India, all over the world. So that's when I thought, okay, first in India, I can work with these government schools. There are thousands and thousands of them where there are, maybe millions of children studying in those. So that's when I thought, okay, I'll work with the government schools. And how do I teach them? So first we train the school teachers on how to actually use our experiments, and then children can actually practice with them. One of the examples I give on this one, Say, for example, I ask you to change the car tire. I can write just on the blackboard and go, oh, this is a car tire, this is the jack, whatever, etc. And then I ask you, go and change the car tire. Will you be able to do it? I don't think so, right? Okay, the next thing is I'll show you a video and say, okay, this is how it's done. Now you go and do it. How confident would you be to change the car tire? 15%? And what if I actually come with you to the car, show you how to do it? Then how comfortable will you be? Maybe 30, 40%, maybe, right? Because you have seen it, but you'll make some mistakes and you may not remember. But what if I actually make you do it? Then you're very confident. And if you do it twice, that's it, you're done, right? So that is what our Janyaa Lab in a Box program is. Our teachers will show the experiments in the school, but then we actually have children practicing multiple times with the same experiment. That's how they have this 80% concept retention. Because online program is only 50%, Blackboard is only 5%. But with experiential learning, it's 80% concept retention, and that's what we are doing with the Janyaa Lab in a Box program. And that's how it was born. I wanted to do this capacity building with the teachers. I wanted children to practice with the experiments, and also the experiments we design, they're actually relevant to the daily life. So, for example, if you want to teach algebra, we use this tarazu, the simple balance, and we show, okay, x equals y, this the left hand equals to the right hand. How do you solve the equation? So we try to come up with many of the experiments so that they can actually relate to those in their daily life. So when they see the simple balance, oh, that's algebra for me, right? So that's how we have tried to design using design thinking principles and all. And so it's a very good program. We have about 600 experiments, and this program can be adapted anywhere in the world. And already we are doing it in Nigeria, by the way. They love it too. They're actually using with their children. And we have done it in almost 14 states in India. And about 920 schools is what we worked with, and almost 500,000 children and different states. So yeah, it's a wonderful program that we came up with. But of course, there is an extension to it on how they can actually make an impact in their communities with the concepts that they have learned, and coming up with the solutions for the problems they face. Because that's the crux of Janyaa. That is what we need to do. That is the reason I started Janyaa, right? I mean, you learn something, you apply it, and then help your parents, help your communities. They are actually getting more creative from just practicing with our experiments and understanding how you can do this experiential learning. They're getting very creative in their solutions. Now, okay, you learn the concepts, but what is the point of learning if you don't know how to apply it in your daily life, right? So that's where we have this Janyaa Social Innovation Challenge, which is JSIC. So the theme of JSIC, it's not just a science fair. What we do is we actually do some work on, okay, what are the problems they're facing in the school or their community? And we come up with like themes. For example, the past themes that we had were soil conservation, water conservation, alternative energy, etc. Right? So we give these themes to the children and we say, okay, you have these problems and come up with solutions. So children may build these amazing models, right? Nice working models, and showing the solution for the problem that whatever they are facing, and just to give you an example, this group of children in Andhra Pradesh, they came up with this rainwater harvesting model. And we asked them, you have monsoons, you get so much rain, what is the problem? And the children said, well, we don't have groundwater, so we want to save the water we get from monsoons. And that was the winning model that year in 2018. That is the Janyaa Social Innovation Challenge. Now, yes, you get the first prize, and so what? I mean, you just show your certificate or whatever. No, that's not sufficient, right? You have to actually see if it really impacts your school, impacts your community. So the next part is Janyaa Children to Community Solutions, which is our JCCS initiative. What we do, we actually implement these solutions in their school or in their community so that they can actually see the benefit of their model, the solution model that they came up with. right? So, in fact, we did quite a few of these so far. And the rainwater harvesting model I was talking about before, we actually partnered with a local engineering college and we actually implemented this in the school. And now the school is saving the water and they're using that water, for washing the dishes, etc., etc., whatever their needs are. And that is where the school is so happy, and the village also, they want to do this rainwater harvesting in their village so that they can also see the benefit and save water for their future use. So this end-to-end model of JLIP, JSIC and JCCS is very unique to Janyaa. There is no one, as far as I know, in this entire world who has this end-to-end model that actually enables children to impact their communities. So that is the beauty of this JLIP, JSIC, JCCS model that we have at Janyaa.
Hello, sir. I'm Sheikh Fatima B. My daughter's name is Sheikh Karishma Begum, studying ninth class in ZPHS English medium. Earlier, she used to be nervous about going to school. She was afraid of maths and science. Now that Janyaa Foundation is providing equipment, it is easy in school. They do experiments and give few projects as homework. This eliminated the fear in their mind and performance has improved. She is looking to going to school. She is studying well and also getting good grades. We are thankful to Janyaa Foundation for giving us the equipment for practicals. If we feel any difficulty in maths and science, hands-on learning makes it easy. For me, potential energy was quite difficult, but with help of this equipment, I am able to grasp easily and write in exams in my own words. My ambition is to become a teacher. I will teach my students in exact same way our teachers taught us, by teaching with illustration and making learning easy. I want to achieve my ambition of becoming a good teacher.
The two programs we want to focus on today for fundraising are, one is the Janyaa Learn from Home program, and the other one is the Janyaa Nature Lab program. So the Janyaa Nature Lab program, we want to start here as well in USA. right? We want to pilot it over here. In fact, we started one pilot, but I want to invite all the parents and all the students to participate in this. We want to run multiple pilots, and we want this to grow big in this country as well. And that is one program where we want to raise funds for. And of course, the Janyaa Learn from Home program is there for sure. And I want to let you know that every volunteer, every single person, including me, all of us who work here for Janyaa are all volunteers, and we don't get compensated in any way. Okay. And coming to India, all of the money goes to the program. About 98% of the donations, whatever you donate, goes towards the program. And I want to tell you, we watch every penny we spend. We are very careful about every penny we spend. We watch with hawk eyes and goes towards the program, benefiting the children and making sure that they impact their communities. So we all know our Janyaa Lab in a Box program is experiential learning program, right? It has to happen physically in the schools. But then we had COVID, where children could not go to school. And did you know that, research shows that almost 90% of the children lost what they have learned before because they didn't have the support at home. Our children, the parents were supporting them. They were, learning through Zoom. They have these laptops, all this, support structure. But these children, they don't even have laptops. They have to use their parents' phone. How are they going to learn, right? And in spite of that, somehow that enthusiasm in the children has helped them log into the online programs and at least learn something. Now, experiential learning program, how can we do it online? I didn't want to do just, share some YouTube videos or, just have an instructor just, sharing the concepts. I still wanted this experiential learning with the children. So what we did at Janyaa was we quickly adapted to this COVID pandemic, actually, right? What we did, we chose the experiments and we chose the material that is easily available for these children at home. Like lentils, you have them. Marbles, they play with those. Some sticks, even from the broomsticks, or even paper, pen, right? We used all that material, and our instructors also have the same material on this side. And we have the small groups of children, right? 10 children or 12 children. That's it. We don't want to take more than that. And the instructors are showing these experiments using the same material, and they make sure children are also doing the same thing on the other side. And we are doing experiential learning through online. This is our Janyaa Learn from Home program, our JLH program. And I'm actually very proud of this, and I actually want this to be continued like forever. It's not going to be, okay, once the pandemic ends, okay, next year or so we stop it. No, I want this to continue forever because this will help children, even like an after school program and on the weekends, etc. So this is where we need people's support because it takes a lot. It's actually, I have to admit that it's a little bit more expensive for sure than our JLIP program, because JLIP, we give a set of experiments and it applies to the whole school, right? But we cannot do JLF like that. We have to limit the number of students. Consider the support structure they don't have. They don't even have, phones. They're using their parents' phones. So we have to be very, careful in how many students we enroll in this program. So it does need money and it does need your support. And but I'm very proud of our Janyaa Learn from Home program because this is again, it's very unique. No one does experiential learning through online program. And that is something which Janyaa is doing. And I'm, like I said, I'm proud of our volunteers, our teachers, our staff, and the students, because they're actually adapting to our program. They really love it. And may I say, this year, we enrolled 25 students to take a polytechnic entrance test in Telangana. All the 25 got admitted. They all passed the Polyset entrance and all of them got seats, and they're looking for a brighter future. And that's what Janyaa Learn from Home program is.
అందరికీ నమస్కారం. నా పేరు షేక్ షెఫియా. నేను జెడ్పీహెచ్ఎస్ నిమ్మకూరులో 10వ తరగతి చదువుతున్నాను. మనందరికీ తెలుసు, ఈ పాండమిక్ టైంలో మనం చాలా ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ ఫేస్ చేసాం. ముఖ్యంగా మా ఎడ్యుకేషన్, మా అకాడమిక్ ఇయర్ ఆల్మోస్ట్ స్పాయిల్ అయిపోయింది. అంటే మామూలుగా అయితే ఫ్రెండ్స్తో కలిసి నేర్చుకోవటం, అలాగే క్లాస్ రూమ్ ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ వల్ల టీచర్స్ చెప్పే టాపిక్స్ అర్థమయ్యేవి. కానీ ఈ పాండమిక్ టైంలో ఆన్లైన్ క్లాసెస్ వల్ల టీచర్స్ చెప్పేవి అర్థమైనప్పటికీ కొంచెం డౌట్ఫుల్గా అనిపించేవి. ఈ టైంలో జన్యా ఫౌండేషన్ వాళ్ళు కూడా ఆన్లైన్ క్లాసెస్ని కండక్ట్ చేశారు. సైన్స్ అండ్ మ్యాథ్లో ప్రతి టాపిక్ని యాక్టివిటీ మరియు ఎక్స్పెరిమెంటల్గా మాకు చేసి చూపించారు. అలాగే మేము నేర్చుకున్న ఆ టాపిక్స్ని డైలీ లైఫ్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్స్తో చెప్పడం ద్వారా ఆ టాపిక్స్ మాకు ఇంకా బాగా అర్థమయ్యాయి.
రాసి చూపించేవి కాకుండా పిల్లల చుట్టూ దొరికే చిన్న చిన్న వస్తువులతో ప్రయోగాలు చేసి చూపిస్తున్నారు. ప్రయోగాలు చూసిన తర్వాత మా పిల్లలు మా ఇంట్లో ఉన్న వస్తువులతో చిన్న చిన్న వస్తువులతో ప్రయోగాలు చేసి చూపిస్తున్నారండి. మాకు
ఈ ఆన్లైన్ క్లాసులు పెట్టి మా పిల్లలకు సహకరించినందుకు ఈ జన్యా ఫౌండేషన్ వాళ్ళకి ధన్యవాదాలు.
Similarly, this year, the students who has passed the 10th class, they are not able to access the Polyset coaching outside because of this pandemic situation. For them also, this Janyaa Foundation helped with the online Polyset coaching. And many of our students has been joined in that coaching, and out of that, three students of our school has got qualified for the Polyset examination.
అందరికీ నమస్కారం. నా పేరు డి శ్రీనివాస్. నేను జెడ్పీహెచ్ఎస్ గోజాఘాట్ హై స్కూల్లో కరోనా సిచ్యువేషన్లో 10th కంప్లీట్ చేయడం జరిగింది. 10th కంప్లీట్ చేయాలని నాకు పాలిటెక్నిక్ చదువుదాం అనుకున్నాను. పాలిటెక్నిక్ చదవాలంటే పాలిసెట్ ఎంట్రన్స్ ఎగ్జామ్ రాయాలి. పాలిసెట్ ఎంట్రన్స్ ఎగ్జామ్ రాద్దాం అనుకుంటే బయట కోచింగ్ సెంటర్స్ ఎక్కడ ఓపెన్ లో కరోనా వల్ల. అప్పుడు జన్యా ఫౌండేషన్ వాళ్ళు ఆన్లైన్ కోచింగ్ ఇవ్వడం జరిగింది. ఆన్లైన్ కోచింగ్ ఇవ్వడం అంటే బిగ్ బ్యాంగ్ నుంచి బట్టి పట్టడం అనుకున్నాం. కానీ అలా కాకుండా జన్యా ఫౌండేషన్ వాళ్ళు చాలా కొత్తగా మ్యాథ్స్ మరియు ఫిజిక్స్ అన్ని టాపిక్స్ కూడా ఎక్స్పెరిమెంట్ రూపంలో చూపించడం జరిగింది. ఎక్స్పెరిమెంట్ రూపంలో చేసి చూపించడం వలన అవన్నీ మా కళ్ళ ముందు జరిగినట్టు అనిపించినాయి. కానీ అంతకుముందు కొన్ని టాపిక్స్ నేర్చుకున్నామంటే చాలా భయం ఉండేది. కానీ ఇలా ఎక్స్పెరిమెంట్ రూపంలో చేసి చూపించడం వలన చాలా ఈజీగా, చాలా ఇంట్రెస్టింగ్గా గుర్తుపెట్టుకునే విధంగా ఉంది. అలాగే మేము ఇంటికి వెళ్ళినాక మేము నేర్చుకునే ఎక్స్పెరిమెంట్ ఇంట్లోనే మెటీరియల్తో ఆడుతూ పాడుతూ చేసేవాళ్ళం. అలాగే కొన్ని పనులు చేసేటప్పుడు కూడా మాకు ఈ ఎక్స్పెరిమెంట్ గుర్తుకు వచ్చేది. దీనివలన బట్టి పట్టడం కాకుండా గుర్తుపోయే విధంగా నేర్చుకున్నాం. ఆ నేర్చుకోవడం వలన నేను ఎగ్జామ్ చాలా బాగా రాశాను అండ్ మంచి ర్యాంక్ కూడా వచ్చేది. ఈ సిచ్యువేషన్లో కూడా జన్యా ఫౌండేషన్ వాళ్ళు చాలా యూస్ఫుల్గా, చాలా ఓపికగా చెప్పినందుకు నా హృదయపూర్వకంగా ధన్యవాదాలు. అండ్ ఫ్యూచర్లో ఎంతోమంది పిల్లలకి ఇలాగే కోచింగ్ ఇవ్వాలని నేను మనస్ఫూర్తిగా కోరుకుంటున్నాను.
Janya's success depends on donors like you and also our corporate partners. One of the partners is United Way Hyderabad. We have been working with them for the past few years and we had great collaboration. And recently we received a great feedback from them for the Polyset training we have done with the students. They are very proud of our Janyaa team because our team has come up with the curriculum and organized these training sessions in a very short period of time. And the students enjoyed the program because they understood the concepts, they were able to do better in the exams, and they received a very good feedback from the students as well. So United Way Hyderabad has been very happy with our program and we are glad to have them as our partners. We are also working with KPMG. We have been working with them for the past few years. KPMG has been supporting us on the teacher training program, the capacity building, and they have been a great partner. And we have trained numerous teachers using KPMG's support. And we are glad to have KPMG as one of our corporate partners as well. For the Janyaa Children to Community Solutions, we need corporate sponsors to support the program. And High IQ is one of the partners who supported us in implementing this in 15 schools in Hyderabad. And we are very thankful to Mr. Pawan Singh for providing this financial support for the program. Thank you so much, Pawan. I would also like to thank Navbharat Ventures. We have partnered with them in 14 schools in Telangana for tribal welfare schools, with all the tribal children. They have been a great partner for us, and we thank you, Navbharat, for supporting us, and we would like to continue our partnership.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Janyaa Virtual Gala. My name is Basil Quadra. I'm joined with Mohar Nagaraj, and we have some few questions for our guest Venu Nadella. So, as Janyaa offers many programs, so there's a Janyaa that is specifically called Janyaa Nature Labs. What is it about?
That's one of the other initiatives that's very close to my heart that comes from Janyaa. Basically, this one shows how to apply the science and math concepts into growing vegetable gardens, along with some commerce involved in it. So some life skills are also going into this one. So basically what we tell children is, first, for example, you pick the area of the land, and we have an experiment on how to measure the area of the land. So first we teach that experiment, then children go to the garden, they measure the area of the land. Then we tell them, okay, now you budget it. So if you have to rent the area of the land, from the teachers, they'll say, okay, we'll rent it to you for 3 months, it's, 3,000 rupees or, $100 or whatever it is. So they have to budget it for the for the seeds and water and everything as they progress. And they'll say, okay, for growing these vegetables for 3 or 6 months or whatever it will cost me, say, I don't know, like 10,000 rupees, right? And in that 10,000 rupees, we also teach them how to calculate simple interest and compound interest using one of the experiments. So we give compound interest to one group and one group simple interest, and we ask them, okay, now you calculate how much you have to pay off the end. So maybe 10,000 will become 12,000 and maybe 15,000, whatever it is, right? And so that is the commerce part of it. So as the children are growing, okay, germination of the seeds, we have an experiment for it. How do plants get nutrients from their roots? Do they need sun, photosynthesis? All of these experiments, first we teach children, then they go to the ground and they apply those in the ground. And as the vegetables are coming, whether it is leafy vegetables or whatever it is, they sell it back to the teachers. And all of this is paper money, by the way. But now, okay, today if they sell some leafy vegetables for, say, 300 rupees, 10,000 minus 300. So they still owe 9,700 rupees, right? So that's how they do it. And the end of 6 months, what we tell them is, okay, did you make profit or loss? Okay, why did you make a loss? Maybe, that they're charging you too much for the ground. So next time you bargain and tell them, it's not working for us. So we try to teach them those bargaining skills too,
Wow.
So, and when you're selling organic food, and that too straight from the farm to table, right? It's better than farmer's market, isn't it? So you have to charge more. Why are you selling for less? You have to charge more than farmer's market, more than, these supermarkets, isn't it? So we try to teach all of this, and, so when this is happening, children understand where the food is coming from. They try to eat healthy. And, growing this, the greenery and all, it helps them emotionally as well. It's good for their mental health and environment, right? See, they say by 2050, getting food will be very difficult because, the population is increasing, the actual agricultural land is decreasing. So it's better for everyone to grow their food at home. I mean, you can't grow all of it, obviously, at least some of it. So this, we encourage through this children growing food at home as much as possible. And, they're eating fresh. Obviously your health will improve big time. And you're learning commerce, you're learning science and math, applying into your daily life. So it's a beautiful program as such. They understand the impact of environmental hazards, whatever, all of that, right? So yeah, this program is one of my favorites. I really love this program.
All right, so I was going to talk about this, but more in recent years, global warming and environmental issues have been at the forefront of the global discussion. We've talked about in 2050 how it's likely that produce and food will be scarce. So what's the importance of environmental and natural learning? How may it benefit the children?
Yeah, so once you understand the importance of growing food and also growing the trees. See, when you grow the food at your house, that whole transport and all that, you're saving the environment, right? Because the trucks that have to transport your food from wherever it is, and it has to come to your house, the grocery stores first, and then you have to pick up. All of that actually benefits the environment. That's one. They learn about the living soil, the wind, the beneficial bugs, the pollinators. They say bees are very important, right, for the environment, because if there are no bees, there is no pollination happening. You can't hand pollinate every single thing. So they learn about that. They learn about sustainable living, composting, water harvesting, isn't it? So with all of this, there are so many things that children can learn, I don't know, food and nutrition, self-sufficiency, food systems, and then the civic duty. Because if you're growing more, go and donate the food, right? So they can create stories about life, in the garden.
We'd like to thank you for your time. I know you made some time for us and for even helping unprivileged students around the world. I know you guys are volunteering. You don't earn anything from this, so it's really noble of you guys just putting in your time and effort in all these programs. Seeing the effects of these organizations is really inspirational, and I'm really proud to be, or me and Maha are really proud to be like a small pebble in that raging river.
It's my pleasure, and every small pebble counts.
My name is Anish Tabadi, and I'm currently a senior here in San Jose, California. So, how I got involved with Janyaa. So, when I was in 8th grade, I was working with another nonprofit organization, and we went to India to help kids in rural schools, help teach them how to read in English and write. And we went and collected funds and donated books to them from America. And that kind of interested me, like going and seeing how the stark differences between our lives here and there, and how much funding they didn't really have there. And I was happy knowing that I was making a difference, but I wondered how I could make a bigger difference. And when I came back for a couple years, we didn't travel back to India, so I wasn't able to help out there. But I found out about Janyaa, and Janyaa was partnering up with these schools there and helping form a curriculum for them where they were taking science and learning real-world applications which they would take on in their future lives, and also helping nurture their education. And that's something that really interested me, because in education, a lot of times you see people learning stuff that they're never going to use again, but in Janyaa, these were real-life applications that they're going to use later on in their lives. So that really interested me. So under Janyaa, I started helping come up with the content, doing research on the type of curriculum that was allowed for them. And I started coming up with experiments. And then part of JNL, Janyaa's Nature Lab, I started trying out these experiments and going around and testing them, finding a way to put it into a real world application where people will actually find use for it later on in their lives. Janyaa is the place for you. So please come on out and join Janyaa and help volunteer and help us reach our goal.
Hi, I'm Arvin. I'm a senior in high school in San Jose, California, and today I'd like to talk a little bit about Janyaa. Janyaa is an organization that I've been volunteering for around 3 years, and when the pandemic hit in March 2020, I was confused. I didn't know how to help. So I started a fundraiser in June of that same year, and I chose Janyaa as an organization that would be supported by the fundraiser. I chose Janyaa because they were making efforts to perpetuate their support for rural children in India, especially during the pandemic. And I believe that I could help them continue their efforts and make them stronger by creating this fundraiser. So some incentives that we provided as part of the fundraiser was I was teaching children golf lessons if their parents donated some money, and we were also giving away plants from our garden in return for more donations. And with these incentives, in the first couple of months of the fundraiser, we were able to raise almost $3,000. And this summer, around June of 2021, I created a website that would help streamline the process we had in place that was getting the plants out to these donors. And using this website, we were able to raise more money. We were able to get other people involved in the same process, and it was a lot of fun. I was personally very satisfied with my efforts. I felt uplifted and comfortable, and I believe that doing the same thing and finding a community that's close to your heart and supporting them through an organization like Janyaa is a very good way to spend your time, and I gladly recommend that you join in as soon as possible. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Sanvi. I'm a freshman. I've been with Janyaa for quite a bit of time now, and I think it's one of my favorite things. It's really, really empowering and nice, and I think my motivation for joining Janyaa, for taking up on this opportunity, was the children. I love kids so much, and I think every child has a right to education, and I'm a strong believer of loving what you learn. You need to be able to love what you learn, not just learn it, or else it's useless. And I think Janyaa really helped with that, really helped children, a lot of underprivileged children with that. And these experiments, these labs in a box, I think that's such a innovative way of teaching children. And when you realize that kids aren't loving it, aren't happy with what they're learning, you want to take every opportunity you can to help, which is why I think this is amazing. But in order for people to be able to send these experiments, we need the resources, we need the money. So fundraising, that's where it comes in. It's extremely important. And my way of fundraising was social media. As someone with a platform, as someone constantly on there as a teenager, I think it was a really, really good way to catch people's attention, to show them this is important and this is what's happening and this is how they can help. There are many, many other ways you can do this. It doesn't have to be just social media. Just reaching out to anybody to help these children, to empower these children is great. Okay, thank you.
On behalf of the Janyaa team, I would like to thank all the donors over all these years who supported Janyaa. Without you, it wouldn't have been possible for us to help so many children over 12 years. I would really like to thank the donors here in USA and in India. So without your support, we wouldn't have been able to generate so many programs and help so many children. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for making this happen for Janyaa. Thank you.